What is going on, guys? This is Jcraft here again with the Facebook group All Around Pickers Lounge, coming at you with a new little segment. I like to call it 5 interesting things I sold on eBay. Yeah, it's something that everyone else is doing, but people keep asking me to do it, so I said, what the heck, I would go ahead and do it too. There's no real criteria for what makes the item interesting. It's just something that was interesting to me, and I thought that there may be some knowledge to be gained by sharing it with you. But apparently everyone does these, and it's the thing that I need to do because you guys are curious about what I'm selling, and I thought I'd just go ahead and put together a video and try and make it fancy and showcase some items. So we're going to be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 different items. These items were things that sold for me within the last 30 days, and some of them were on eBay for a short amount of time, some of them were on eBay for a long amount of time, and we're going to be talking about what I spent on them, some of the things that I learned during the process, and what you need to look for when you're going out and finding those items as well. So, unlike some of the other videos you might see that are kind of tight, kind of short, 5-10 minute little rundowns, this one might be a little more long-winded, but I'll try and keep it entertaining along the way. Those of you who don't know, right now it is October 24th. Halloween is right around the corner, so let's go ahead and spruce up this background, make it a little bit more seasonal, something that we can enjoy as we look over some of these items. So first one up, let's take a peek at the shade control. These are little clip-on lenses that go on the front of your glasses, and they're used for blocking out some of the sun and giving you a little more shade, kind of self-explanatory. I picked up this item for $4 at a thrift store, and the things that I was looking for is I wanted to make sure that the springs worked and that the lenses were free of any major scratches. The cases itself had quite a bit of damage to it, a lot of dust and dirt, which I frankly didn't feel like cleaning out, and there was even some nail polish on the exterior as well. So when I got this bad boy home, I was expecting to list it for about 40 bucks, and I thought it was going to sell through pretty quick. I'd actually sold it once, and the customer, after purchasing it, asked about dimensions, and I had to relist it again, and I'm running some sales right now, trying to liquidate a little bit of inventory, so this ultimately ended up selling for $21.99. I spent $4 on it, went out the door first class, so the margin's pretty decent. You know, I'm going to walk away with maybe about $12 or $13 all in all. And like I said, it's not going to be some amazing sales today. We're just going to be looking at interesting things. I definitely think that this is something that you can find yourself if you're out doing some thrifting or out doing some yard sales. Something that's real easy to stumble over as well if you're not familiar with what it is. So if you do see glasses, I mean, we even have an expert within our group who is fantastic on glasses, but glasses and glasses accessories are certainly something you want to keep your eyes open for while you're out there in the field. Next item up, we have a T-Fault Easy Clean Deep Fryer Container. When I first saw this, I realized that this was going to make a fantastic spare part. So whenever I see parts for different types of appliances, it can be anything from egg trays for refrigerator or even refrigerator handle doors, or if I see small pieces like things like toaster oven trays or replacement grills on specific types of items, I'm going to stop and look them up and try and find a match. The comps that I found were showing me that the price was right around $36, and after feeling the weight, I realized I could get this bad boy out first class and the margins would be healthy. Again though, as I said, I'm liquidating some items right now, so we've been running some staggering sales. I wasn't able to get the top dollar that I was hoping to get. I ended up selling this bad boy for $19. I forgot to mention too, the last item that we were talking about was the shade control. That actually stayed on eBay for 144 days before it sold. It didn't sell through quickly, and it didn't sell through quickly because it probably wasn't too pretty. This one took a little bit of a while to sell too, because as a replacement part, someone's going to need one for replacing, and it's going to have to be justified in the price that you're actually paying. So this ended up selling for $19.29, and it took 186 days for this item to sell. So it was on there for a little bit, which is kind of understandable. I explained to people who are getting into eBay for the first time that it's not about making quick money. It's a long-term play. You know, some of the items that I've purchased half a year ago, as they start to sell through, that's what's freeing up the equity for me to go out and buy more stuff. It just kind of works hand in hand. The next item we're going to be looking at is a Clone Wars figure. This one came to me through a little bit of a different method. I owned a game shop here in Fresno for quite a while, and somebody brought in a massive load of toys. The first thing I did was I went through and I took all the good stuff right off the top that was going to be nice and quick and easy for eBay, and then I took all the leftover stuff and either moved it to a shop, moved it to a yard sale, dealt with a bulk buyer, just kind of offloaded all of it. So by the time that the bulk was done, the remaining stuff that I had, the real thick ends of the money that were left, that ended up being about, I don't know, maybe $300 worth of product. I had paid $100 for the entirety of it, but sold the bulk off for $100. So I was into this for nothing, but just for bookkeeping's sake, we're going to say that I paid roughly about $1 is what this came out to. It ultimately ended up selling for $27.49 after being on sale again, but this item took a long time to sell. This item took 1 year and 4 months to sell. So a little bit of a long drag, but I'm happy to see it go out the door. Again, another item that I was able to ship first class. You'll notice that a bit of a reoccurring trend for a lot of these smalls is that they do have to fall within the first class bubble for them to be worth my trouble. The next item up we have is some replacement game board pieces for a game called Husker Du. And believe it or not, I've sold these replacement pieces maybe 4 times for this very specific game. I come across it all the time and people are selling it for filthy cheap, a quarter or 50 cents. I even sold the board out of this set for another $16 as well because it was in really, really great condition. And this was another one of those situations where there was a lot more money to be made by separating the components out. So selling the board for about 15, 16 bucks, selling the pieces for about $10 or $11, getting 25 bucks together versus selling it with the box and everything together and then maybe getting 30. But the problem with that is you go into a priority mail situation opposed to 2 first class situations. So I made my money quicker and I was able to get two feedbacks out of it and make more money. So I got about $1 in, ultimately getting 26 out, but on this sale right here, we're looking at about $11 out the door. This one only took about 48 days to sell. So it wasn't the absolute worst. I've seen some board game pieces they can take several years to sell, but if the money's there, then it's totally worth it. And last but not least, we have a World of Warcraft Legion Collector's Edition. And boy, is this a really, really interesting one. I had listed this item probably 6 months ago at auction for $59.99 to start. $59.99. And I was really hoping someone would bid on it. No one did. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, man, that's really weird. This is a very good set. Whatever, let's cycle it again. And I ran it one more time. No one bid on it again. And I want you to keep in mind, I did not alter the item in any way, shape, or form. Well, I guess the value of this bad boy kind of skyrocketed over the next month or two as I had listed it just about 2 weeks ago. And this set actually sold for, what was it, 300 and change? 357? Somewhere in there? Yeah, it sold for an absolute boatload of money. On top of that, I was able to send this thing out first class as well. So it saved, not first class, I sent it out media mail, so I saved a ton of money on that end too. So I guess every now and then you can get a little bit lucky with stuff like that. This actually came into my shop as well as part of a very, very large buy. I got an amazing price on it. I also found it a little bit interesting that I was halfway through my auction and the guy who sold it to me 6 months prior reached out to me asking if I still had one for sale. So maybe he knew something that some other people knew that I still don't know today. So most stuff World of Warcraft related, especially collector's editions, not worth a whole lot, but every now and then you might get a little bit of a surprise on your hands. So this has been 5 interesting things that I sold this month on eBay. I hope you learned something. I hope you picked up some info. And if you don't know who I am and you don't know why you're watching this, make sure you check out the links down below. We got a really cool Facebook group you can join. You can talk with other sellers. You can, pick their brains. You can showcase the items that you sold. We also do tutorials on how to save a ton of money on your shipping. And then if you've got a burning question and you need some help on eBay, you can join us on Sunday night, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, for the Sunday night reseller roundup that we do right here live on YouTube. And you're welcome to come in, ask all the questions that you want. And then on top of that, what else do we got? We got another show called Small Questions, Big Answers. So if you have a big question that needs a lot of help, needs some fine details to be given to you, feel free to ask that too. And we'll go ahead and link the playlist down in the description down below. If you enjoyed this video, slap that like button. Totally appreciate it. If you really like me, click on that subscribe button. We could use a few more of you. Thanks again for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day.